it gets sold and you have to redo the direct deposit or direct debit rather. You have to set everything up online, new passwords, new everything, and it's a pain. And then 8 months later, it's sold again. And you're like, I have to do all this again. And I get it. So I wanted to kind of pull back the curtain because, again, it's a fairly common, it's well, it's just a pain. I don't know a better way to say it. However, if we pull back the curtain a little bit, I'll show you kind of how things work behind the scenes once your loan is closed, right? So what everyone wants is kind of the George Bailey thing, and they kind of think of it like, well, if your bank just holds on to my loan, then it's so much easier. I can just call you, they can call me, and I can always help with the servicing side, and I'm happy to. But kind of like George Bailey, there was the run on the bank, and he explained, the money's not here in the bank; it's in Joe's house and Sally's house, and that's how we do it. We cycle the money, we make it. But they were holding on to the servicing rights at that time. Well, those days are pretty much gone. I mean, there's a loan every so often that gets held by the originating company, but generally speaking, here's what happens. And I found this. I don't know this site. James Spray has a blog. I don't know who that is, but he does have a nice graphic which tells how this works, right? You get a loan. I help you place that loan. And then two things happen. That loan splits, essentially. The loan itself, no one owns a loan these days, except ultimately it makes its way almost in every case to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or Ginnie Mae. Ginnie holds or buys government loans like VA and FHA, or a private investor if it's non-QM or something. And then there's a servicing right, and that's who you make the payment to, right? Who collects the payment every month and then distributes it, right? You distribute it to Fannie Mae, the investors, and they distribute it to bondholders who buy the bonds that back the mortgages. And then there's an escrow account normally. So the servicer also collects county taxes, distributes them to your county when they're due, as well as homeowners insurance and mortgage insurance. So it separates, right? The loan is sold, and again, almost in every case, to Fannie, Freddie, or Ginnie. But no one makes a payment to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac because they don't service loans. So they outsource for a small fee. They say, Alcova Mortgage, why don't you collect the payments and distribute them accordingly, and we'll pay you a small fee to do so. And so that's kind of how it works. I hope that helps. Again, because I get asked so many times, will you hold on to my loan because I don't want it being sold because it's a pain, and it is, and I get it. But the servicers, collect your mortgage payment, mine, et cetera. And sometimes it makes sense to sell off servicing rights from Alcova Mortgage to Acme Mortgage or whatever the case may be. And that's just a business decision, right? The good thing is, if it's sold, federal law states none of the terms of our loan can change, right? So the interest rate, how much you've paid into it so far, none of the terms of the loan can ever change. Now, who you make a payment to and setting up online payments and all that, yeah, it's a pain when it changes. But it's a normal course of business. And what it does ultimately is it really allows for the United States mortgage world to function, I think, better than anyone else in the world, because we have this free flow of money, right? It's constantly sold to Fannie, Freddie, it's securitized on the bond market, et cetera. I know it's a pain when you change servicers, but it does allow for much better servicing or mortgage terms rather, and much easier to buy a home than it is in most any other country in the world. So we have that going for us. I hope that helps. And if I can help with a pre-approval, and promise not to sell your loan. Okay, I can't do that. But if I can help with a pre-approval, I would love to do that today and help you on your path to homeownership. I'll